Campbells Comments now, catching up with Todd Graham here at the Nutrien Equine Masters. Firstly, welcome to Campbells Comments.
Thank you.
This is it's a big sale, it's a big event. It's probably more known as a camp draft event, but you're more known as a cutting person, if you like. And this horse here, you've got two, I think, for sale. They're both cutting horses.
Both been trained through the cutting program. They're both out of the same mare that won the NCHA Futurity back in 2009. I've got a EB's Phalaris mare and a dual ray mare, and they've both been trained cutters. They're old enough now to go on. They're out of our aged events in the cutting industry, and they're old enough now to go on and be camp drafters or go back cutting, whatever the buyer decides to do.
For the novice like myself, what is the major difference? I know one, cutting, there's no beast involved. That's the right way to put it. But there's a couple other little discipline changes or differences.
Cutting. See, we work out of a herd of cattle. We cut a cow out of a herd of cattle, and we got to hold that cow out on its own, and we do it on a loose rein. We put our hand down on a loose rein. That horse stops and turns and counteracts that cow, a bit like a sheepdog, And that's our job, to hold that cow out of the herd. In drafting, and it's more of a backwards, like kind of we draw back into that, into the middle of the arena a lot. Drafting's more of a forward sport. You bring that beast out, take him to the front of the camp, and then out there and around the course. So there's a lot more forward momentum. But our foundation that is put on cutting horses in general really suits the drafting. They've had plenty of miles on them. They've had plenty of training. They can handle the pressure. Through the training and the breeding of these different horses, but they progress into the camp draft industry, really well.
It was raining was one that I was getting, and they're all performance, aren't they? And the performance horse, and I was just speaking there before. It's just ever growing. It's one of the fastest growing sports. Don't worry about putting the equine in front of it. One of the fastest growing sports in Australia, and you can see why in a way. The one thing I love is just the way people enjoy it. But it's just a lot of fun. But there's so many, I suppose, little branches that you can go and compete in as well.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there's a lot of little disciplines in the performance horse world, and but it's great to everybody's got a common interest, and it all comes back to the horse. Which obviously we all love horses. That's why we're here. But, you're not doing it on your own. You've got your mate in your horse. You've got some mates around you as well. And whether you're drafting, cutting, cow horsing, reining, whatever it is, everybody appreciates the time and the effort that goes into preparing these horses, because it just doesn't happen. You can't just wake up one morning and go and win something. You've got to put the time and the effort. Like any elite sportsman, you've got to put the effort in. But then you've got to work with that horse as well. And then, of course, in camp drafting and cutting, we throw in the other element of cattle. So then you rely on that horse to be really smart, and that's why they're all bred to work cattle. So, yeah, that's why it's...
Well, you're no novice. You've achieved a little bit over the journey. Bardo, he rattled it off. I had no hope of absorbing all of that. But you've achieved quite a bit in your chosen sport, and that... One, do you sit back and enjoy that, what you've been able to achieve, or is it just like, well, I've got to keep trying to keep achieving those feats?
No, after you've been doing it for 35 years like me, you do sit back and enjoy it and appreciate what sacrifices you've made and what you've had to go through to get there. And very proud of my accomplishments over the years, because they didn't come easy, and but a lot of support along the way. And damn a lot of horses to ride to get there. So, of course you sit back and enjoy it, but you can't, if you want to be competitive, you've got to keep going, you've got to keep learning, and you've got to, keep putting the hours in. But, at this stage in my life, I'm just happy to, cruise along a little bit and not ride near as many.
The industry has changed, and it's one of those things that, from a standardbred point of view, I want to try and get people to be more professional. You've got Foresight, Affinity Insurance, Bearsford Saddlery, Classic Equine, Ariat, and River Arena Stock Feeds. 35 years ago, I don't reckon there would have been too many people walking around with any labels on their shirts, or if they were, they wouldn't have been getting badging. Are you wrapped at how it's changed, and for a lot of these young people now, the opportunities that are there for people in camp drafting, in cutting, in reining, the opportunities are there in this performance horse world now?
Well, it has changed, because it's become, to the forefront a lot whereas years ago it was all racing, and then maybe the dressage and the English side of it was very popular. But these days, this sport and these horses are very, have given all of us, a great lifestyle and a great job, if you want to say that. But yeah, to have all these sponsors and that sort of thing, we all appreciate it. And it's a bit like everything, a lot of these are to do with being a cowboy and living that lifestyle, and that's what a lot of this is about. But yeah, you can't, we couldn't do it all without the sponsors.
No, definitely not. And there's no mistake why I read all those out, because they need to be promoted. But I do love the way you guys do them. If you are promoted, you can pick it here a mile away, because people wear their colours, if you like, with pride. And I think it's key. You also do a lot of training, clinics and the likes going along. Do you enjoy those sides of things, giving back?
Yeah, I do these days. I enjoy doing the clinics, teaching people how to do it from, beginner level and right up to the, top non-pros. And other trainers, helping them out with horsemanship and my experience over the years. And that is enjoyable, because you're not slogging away riding a heap of horses, but it's to see someone improve is a really good feeling. I do private lessons and all that sort of thing too, where they come for an hour or whatever it is, and you get to know people, and it's really good to see them progress and learn some stuff that they would take them years to learn, just dabbling along on their own.
As a competitor, and you said there you enjoy the competing and you enjoy looking back, do you hate teaching someone that comes along and beats you afterwards?
No, you got to take a bit of pride in that, because that you've helped them along the way. I mean, there's a lot of guys in our game that worked for me over the years, for whether it was 6 months or 3 years or 5 years or whatever, that are now some of the best trainers in the country, and that's pretty cool.
It is cool, and I'm glad you said that, because you've got to give back. It's one thing I haven't done a lot with cutting, but with the camp drafting, it's the one thing I love, and I can't speak highly enough about it for all the people that are involved, how inclusive they are with the kids, not just from the best riders in the business talking to those guys, but having events for them and encouraging them to be a part of it. Yep. I think it's key, and I just love it, and being able to get them give back as training and having them compete against you, I think it's great.
Yeah, it is, and I mean, we do some youth camps and all at home, and again, it doesn't matter what level the kid's at. Not everybody's going to come along on a trained cutting horse to do it, but everybody's got to start somewhere. I remember my first run wasn't that good, so everybody's had to start somewhere. We're all beginners, so someone's got to help you out along the way. So yeah, I'm happy to do that.
I remember I'd done a chat with Peter Kamitsky when I was at Springshaw last year, and he was saying about teaching, and I think he went to the Northern Territory. I'll get it in trouble, and he got the whip in the yard. He didn't even get the beast out of the yard. Like, he's gone there as an expert. He's taught them all everything. So the teaching part is part of it, but the participation and being able to be a part of it is also the other key, and have fun. And Todd, I can tell you have fun. Like Bardo said, can you come and have an interview with Paul? You're probably like, you're kidding. But you actually, the enjoyment, I can see it in your face.
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's we got to promote our horses and our sport and get it out to the world. Sometimes you think that we're just a little speck in the universe doing our own little thing, but this can be enjoyed by a lot of people and have a ton of fun doing it.
Just on this sale, and this is not all about the sale and how it works. This is, in my mind, this is for the camp drafters, because there's a camp draft being run on the site. But you've got cutting horses, and cutting horses come here. They're at the Classic as well, I believe, as well for selling. What is it that attracts you to Nutrien here? Like, I look after my sponsors, but what actually is it that attracts you to the sale and to be able to sell your horses here?
Well, it's grown over the years that the cutting horses will go on and draft very well, and it broadens our market, we're not just stuck in that one field of cutting. These horses can do both. So it's good to bring them here, and you open your whole market up to who is, able to see your horses, appreciate them, and then buy them and go on and breed from them, compete on them, do whatever. So that's why we come to Nutrien, is because they put a hell of a... I mean, the performance horse game in Australia wouldn't be near where it is now without Nutrien backing it for all these years and, putting up the incentives and all that sort of thing. So, we've all got to appreciate Nutrien in that, and Bardo and his team for having the foresight to keep it going. And it's been good for more than one, not just camp drafters, you know, and the cutters and the reiners and all that sort of thing. You bring a good quality horse here and they'll come. So that's kind of why we come. And but it's you know, you get a big market here.
I think it's the one thing that I really enjoy. It's almost like the Yellowstone effect, if you like, that Nutrien come here, they lift the bar, then all the other performance horses ride on that. They keep lifting their bars as well, so everyone does the same thing. People say about Yellowstone being one of the driving forces behind performance horses. It's all good and well to watch a TV show and say that, but to come to events like this, be included, it is, and it's fun. And that's, you know, from a standardbred point of view, which is what I do, and I promote Nutrien standardbreds, equine standardbreds. That's one thing that these guys are bringing to the table is fun, and it's something that I want to just keep pushing out there, because I love horses. I don't want horses to go anywhere. I don't care if they're race horses, my daughter's show jumps. We've got to keep them going there, and I love it. So I've enjoyed this chat, mate. I really thank you for your 5 minutes, and well done to you. Good luck selling. What have we got? 103, is it, I think?
103 and 17.
Well, they put bookended you, so they got you all day. But good luck tomorrow, and thank you very much for joining Campbell's Comments, mate, and thanks for the time, and well done to all your sponsors as well.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.